All right, everyone, welcome back into another props video. Give me a touchdown on the top prop bets for Taco Tuesday. That's right, it's profit day. Let's go ahead and get into it. But as always, a recap from the previous slate. So the NBA bet slip of the day with Taki in there ended up going 2 for 4. What sucked is that Brandon Ingram, if you guys were looking at the 9-5 cheat sheet prior to that game starting, his likelihood to get the fantasy score flipped. It was like a 55% chance for the under to hit right before lock, which is always a sinking feeling for me, as you know, recommending him at the start of the day when the data was telling us that was going to be a very good bet. I didn't see why that changed. Maybe it's just the public opinion on it, or maybe people thought Jordan Hawkins was going to have the game that he did. Tough to say for sure. But yesterday was a day in which I kind of mentioned that we had a lot of favorable bets for the sports books, like individual bets, and that ended up coming true. We see 3 for 5 there, which, you know, when you're betting on individual props like that, you know, we'll definitely take that. And I was pretty proud of this one. It was very sharp. It ended up getting bumped to 12.5 by lineup lock. We were kind of preparing for Derek White to be out, even though the projections were showing that he was in. I mentioned Brook Lopez should be able to feast against Brooklyn. It was actually just Giannis dominating that game for the same reasons. And so the reason why below I have 7 for 15 or 8 for 15 is because the NFL props, it really depends on which one you kind of went with. We were going with the game stack. Obviously that game did not go how Vegas thought. Thus the props that we were on, you know, weren't the best. 3 for 6 or, you know, 2 for 6. But again, that's comes with the nature of betting on a showdown slate where you're trying to really game script, especially for a 6-slip bet. I do want to call this out though. I went ahead and I added in another tool for 9to5sports.com. This is going to be the college basketball props cheat sheet. And shout out to Rodney, who's been a long time member and follower 9to5. Always commenting, appreciate that. And I appreciate everyone that does that in the comment section, whether that be Twitter or YouTube. I really do appreciate that, guys. And girls. There's a few of you in there as well. Appreciate it. But I did add in college basketball and able to have a pretty decent night by doing that. So hopefully this will be an edge going forward. And this is something that I'll be highlighting during this video as well. And what was great about this is that I'll show you this one. This was a bet. The Antonio Reeves 3.5 less than rebounds was one that was available throughout the whole day. And I believe Underdog had it bumped to 4. That was just the line that PrizePicks did not update. And then here is just one more as well, guys. This was from Underdog. And the reason I went with this one is because Justin Edwards on PrizePicks was projected to get 12.5 points. And so on Underdog at 11, that was pretty under what the expectation was, because the average sportsbook line had about 12. So, you know, a decent edge there. You know, obviously a little bit fortunate that he got 12 there, but we'll take it. And guys, for what it's worth with the college basketball props, like that was my best slip of the day. I was mixing and matching a bunch of them. Most of them went 4 for 6, so it's not like I just went in on that one. I just want to make that clear. I don't need people, you know, coming in and just firing off college basketball prop bets too much, you know, overexposing themselves because they saw a good slip. No, that was my best one. It was a profitable day with the college basketball side of it. But you know, that could just be a one-off situation. It's typically not going to be like that. So it is Taco Tuesday here, but we are going to have an extremely limited board today. Okay, we know that there's no NBA going on, unfortunately, today, so we're going to be focusing on really what we have available. So we'll take a peek at NFL first. We are not getting any great prop bets for them just yet for NFL, even like discrepancies-wise, not too much. Like Hayden Hurst, we see Underdog is maybe undervaluing his receiving yards, but nothing too crazy there. I would think Demario Douglas would be able to have a good game against Indy, but that would be a prop bet that I feel like we're probably forcing in a little bit. They're not really giving us any prop bets for the Thursday night football game, especially for the Bears, like the side I'd probably want to be on the most. And yeah, for NFL, I just feel like there's no big edges just yet. So let's move on into NHL. And so for NHL, I just want to remind people that I went ahead and I kind of updated the part of the tool. So what you want to do is you want to use this, and this is just going to give us the best EV bets, because when they are a discrepancy like that, they're pretty much just being valued as a push with the line that we get. So with these, where you can see like the percent edge that we are really getting on prop bets. And again, very tight. We have one good bet that's over 54% likelihood to hit. So we can roll with this under assist for, I'm not even going to try to say his name. I'm not a hockey expert. I just go with the good EV bets that we have there. Now let's go ahead and just check out the discrepancies that we have. Oh, and we do have college football tonight as well. So that'll be, hopefully we can get some good bets there. Looking at the discrepancies that we have. FIFA shot attempts, you know, not too big of edges there. Tennis aces. We got Humbert. So we could do over aces there. That's a decent discrepancy. Anytime we get like a 1 ace difference in tennis, I kind of pull towards that, because that's a pretty big difference in tennis. And that's a situation where if you bet on Underdog, you could also bet the under there. So not a terrible one there. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get into college basketball. And so I will say I do want to get some fantasy score props. I think that those are going to be the biggest edges for college basketball, just because typically speaking, those are the biggest edges that we get for any other sport as well. And I feel like it's gonna be harder for them to track, the fantasy score prop. Looking at it right now, again, though, it's a small college basketball slate. We are not really getting that many great prop bets just yet, especially when compared to like Underdog. All the lines are pretty true. Now, I do think as the day progresses, we are going to get some good prop bets in here. Again, like probably fantasy score prop bets, but I want to point out we are not getting that many good ones. Really, the only good one that we see would be Trey Galloway for under 3 assists, as the average sportsbook line has set 2.5, but they are heavily favoring the over. Thus, that's why PrizePicks bumped it up. Brutal slate thus far. Let's go ahead and move on into college football, seeing if we have anything going on there. And of course, for college football, again, we are not getting that many great props. There's just not that many good games going on right now. So all in all, guys, if it weren't for Taco Tuesday, this would very much be a day in which we wouldn't be attacking at all. I just want to make that clear. We have maybe 2 good bets on paper. Right. So it's very unfortunate. Can't really control that. It is kind of what it is. Right. And so this is a day in which I'll probably take the longest amount of time possible for the taco props that are available to see if there are any good bets that populate into the 9 to 5 cheat sheet. Just a reminder, if you guys want access to this, it is available for just $10 a month. And I would say most people are betting more than $10 a day on PrizePicks. I kind of think the average bet that people make is $5, but people are probably making more than one of those bets per day. And so this is something that'll just kind of pay off hopefully in a week for you guys or so, just given that. And so I did just want to refresh the data. We are currently getting this one as a pretty good bet, but I want to call out for Walker, he is projected to get 12.8 points. So again, not a perfect one, but now we do have 3 good bets, which better than nothing. And so personally, I just want to go through the bets again because I did refresh the data on my end, seeing, okay, we still got hockey, 1 good bet there. Discrepancies, let's take a peek at that. Again, about 1 good bet there. The tennis one I like the most. This saves one is okay, but again, nothing that I love too much. And then, yeah, still nothing for college football. So ugly slate thus far. So let's go ahead and get to the bet of the day. Again, asterisks because I'm going to wait as long as possible, but we have 3 decent bets for now. So let's roll with those. And actually, for what it's worth, I'm going to pull in the ODDSJAM optimizer as well that they have. They are showing some decent CSGO 2 props where, I might just use these 2 to give you guys a 5-slip bet. Not terrible. And again, they are showing this one as a decent one as well for Walter there. And so here we go, guys. Here are the best bets that we currently have on this slate. Again, we see for Humbert, his aces on Underdog is at 6.5, so a slight edge there. This is currently the best EV bet that we have on the slate, about a 55% chance for that one to hit. Do want to point out that the projection data actually has it set at 12.8 points, which is the highest amongst the sports books and the PrizePicks line. Don't love that though, But with this one, this is another good EV bet. We have 2 good EV bets on the slate. 54% chance for these 2 to hit just out off of the average Vegas line. Or sorry, these two. These are those 2. Okay. And then I'm pulling these ones in from the ODDSJAM PrizePicks Fantasy Optimizer. They seem to be decent. And then I just went with this because this was the highest percentage for the discrepancy on the discrepancy report. I want to call the reason why that is, though, is because it's the lowest number there. 2 to 2.5. That's a low number. So the discrepancy likelihood rating is going to be a little bit higher because it's such a low number. Yeah, it's a rough day thus far. And again, guys, I just want to call it, this stuff will be updating throughout the day. Hopefully we get some good fantasy score props. Hopefully we get some bigger edges specifically for college basketball or college football, heck, even hockey. But we're not really getting that. It's a very limited day for sports. That's going to be all for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the coverage. Again, sucks that we don't have more props to talk about. Can't control it. It's unfortunate. That's going to be all for today, though. If you guys do have a fair play, put it in the comment section below. Obviously, we're always trying to win together. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys want access to that tool, it is available for just $10 a month, both PrizePicks and Underdog. Let's have a good slate. Fingers crossed. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.